G'day viewers, the end of another week means it's time for Totally Fucked Up Friday-ish.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, in case you didn't hear what he was saying. We're here to bring you stories from around the world that just confirm what we've always suspected. Everybody in the world really is totally fucked up.
Except for me, I'm good.
Yeah, here's our control experiment. Let's see what evidence comes out in this video, starting with a rather startling little announcement I saw from the US. Someone who calls himself a bioethicist, one David Callahan, from a very important sounding institute, has come up with an idea to deal with obesity. Now, essentially, he has come up with what he thinks you should essentially prod fat people into feeling bad about being fat, and then they won't be fat anymore. Otherwise known as fat shaming to many people.
Fat shaming.
What I love about our expert here is he's come up with something that no one's ever tried before.
Yeah, because no, it's not done. I mean, I'm also a bioethicist.
Are you?
Yeah.
I was wondering what the fuck sort of qualification bioethicist actually is.
You go into a uni and then they throw one at you to make you go away. And so I'm a bioethicist. And I've been, Oh, no, they're not allowed to touch a rat without me being there. And I go, you can touch that rat.
Yeah. And if you're like me, you've just worked out that's probably not even the distasteful euphemism that you were thinking of. But yes, this bioethicist has come up with a brainwave of saying, hey, if we were mean to fat people, they'd stop being fat. Now, it appears he does not actually work with people who have eating disorders or weight problems. You'll be surprised to learn that everyone who does work with people with eating disorders and weight problems has gone stacks on, you're a fucking idiot.
And when you're talking about fat people, that's not good.
Okay.
You're sitting under there going, oh, I think I've collapsed the lung. Oh, okay.
Speaking as a fat bastard, you know, the old making people feel bad about feeling fat, not the most productive way. And although...
Well, they tried it once, badly, in the 50s. Didn't work.
Once?
And they did it again in the 60s. It didn't work then. And they did it in the 1970s and it didn't work then. And they gave it a rest. No, they didn't.
No. So it's basically the utter cluelessness of his... And he's got this thing, no, we should have a campaign, like there should be some posters that say things like, if you're overweight or obese, do you feel good about how you look?
Speaking in my other capacity as a social media guru, that's another job you can just have.
You can just say that's what you are.
You can rock up to like a grants council and say, I'm a social media guru. I've seen a twit dick.
Yep.
Can I have money? And they go, yes, get us out of our problems. We want to rename our University of Sydney. What do we call it? And I reckon Sydney University. Yeah. And they go, here's 50k. And then I spend it on lollies. But more of that later.
So... It's like, what are you saying? Social media, no one's got time to read that long a sign. No. Seriously, if you want to make people feel bad about themselves, make people feel bad about themselves and with others. A sign, just put up a thing that just, you fat fuck. Yeah. You know? It's just, it's probably going to have a worse impact on anorexics than fat people. But you know what?
Outliers. Don't worry about it. In any statistical norm, you get the few at each end who you've got a discount, also known as 20%.
I have to admit, as a fat bastard who knows he's fat just because he's lazy and indulgent, I do have a little bit of a problem with people who go too far the other way as well. In fact, even one of the people speaking out against this guy, rightly in my mind, comes from a group in America called the National Association for the Advancement of Fat Acceptance.
Oh, that's nice.
But once you say acceptance, I thought, what are their support groups going to be like? Like someone goes and go, oh, I'm really overweight. I need some inspiration to lose weight. And it's just, no, just accept it.
Just accept it.
Just accept it.
Let it go.
You're fat. Yeah, but on balance, health, longevity, I should lose weight.
No. Here's a scooter.
Just accept it.
Just let it go.
And the weirdest quote in this article, which is of course linked below, is when someone talks about free-range fat people. Now you would think it was the insensitive prick who's saying be mean to fat people to make them not be fat. He said, no, it's actually the person from the Association for the Advancement of Fat Acceptance. I'm not from America, so maybe you actually have battery farms full of fat people there. So only the free-range ones can be trusted. I don't know how that works. I question someone's fat acceptance credentials when they...
idea of a breakout of the battery fat. Cracked! And the alarms go off and there's searchlights. Wood, and then running. Well, they're wobbling.
Yeah.
And then,
Run, fatties, run! In Australia, we're all free, okay? I'm very rarely caged unless I've specifically asked for it.
And it costs so much.
Special nightclubs for that sort of thing.
Oh, I know. And then they don't let you in without 3 forms of ID. Oh, it's ridiculous.
But you know what? I think we have to actually show there's worse people in the world than bioethicists. There are some special people. And we've got a little group, they're like a
We're not talking about contemporary artists.
No. And I have been asking people to give me links and then vote on the links that I got. And everyone's favourite seemed to be naked, defecating, masturbating man.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a dude in Florida, some Florida homeowner, there's a noise on their roof. They think it's thunder, they think it's hail. No, it's a naked dude. And then his response to the person saying, off my roof, naked dude, was to jump down, run into the house, and do all sorts of weird shit. Empty the vacuum cleaner for some reason.
As though he was being thoughtful.
Rub up against the kid's clothes.
Oh, we've all been there.
And then just start jacking it. And the cops are saying at the end of the day, they don't even know what he's on. A couple bags of crazy is what that guy's on.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he's not even the top one for this type of behaviour.
Well, it's Florida.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you know, some naked guy crash tackles you off the roof of your house. You go, oh, come on.
It's Thursday.
I've got dinner at 8.
This is Florida. That's just normal.
Hurry up, I've got to go.
And I think it was the naked, defecating, masturbating thing in the headline that got everyone's attention. But there was another one in Arlington, which I believe is Texas. And
not Florida. What's going on with that?
Yeah. Ooh, the crazy peoples. So this guy, again, police called to a disturbance.
A disturbance indeed.
And this guy's apparently been huffing disinfectant.
As you do.
If you make really poor life choices.
I've been there. We've all been there.
Really poor life choices, okay?
You know,
if it gets to the stage...
I've looked at a bottle of something that's got colouring in it and gone, you know what, I reckon that's got bloody, I reckon that's got a fuel source in it.
So the cops have come to this guy and he's clad only in a t-shirt. And they said he was speaking in tongues. I think that's code for when we tried to say something to him, he went...
A man's just trying to enjoy his volatiles.
Yeah.
And what's going on? The cops go and hassle the man. The man comes and hassles him under his sheet.
And he was non-cooperative.
How was he non-cooperative, Angry?
It was the... and biting and stuff. So they've gone,
this guy's freaking me out.
They've gone tase him, bro, which was really sweet of them. They didn't just blow his head off.
Kill it, cleanse it with flame.
They've tased him, which has managed to subdue him a little.
Only a little, though.
Yeah, because apparently he was chewing on the taser wires.
Yeah, after trying to eat coins.
Yeah, that was his trick, apparently, was eating coins.
He likes coins.
Yeah.
You know.
The tasty ones.
I mean, okay, so banks have got a bad name after the crash.
I bet he wouldn't eat an Australian 50 cent. Those sharp edges.
Those sharp edges will do they'll do terrible things to your mouth. And not on your fillings.
Not in the way they come out. But, so, okay, he's been handcuffed behind his back and he still has nothing below the shirt, right? And that just is... mildly comical. Some really unprofessional people are losing it.
Bastards! Bastards! They're not social media gurus who might have a 50-cent piece to show all of our American friends.
So, still standing there in t-shirt, that just qualifies you as mildly quirky. See, it's not round. It's got edges.
Got edges on it.
It's got edges.
Lots of them.
That's going to be bad going through is all I'm saying.
Either way, really.
So, you know, naked t-shirt, gibbering, eating coins, that just makes you kind of special. Where this guy hit the high note, the next thing he did to the cops, hands behind his back, he's bent over, grabbed his butt cheeks, spread him goatsy style, and screamed, "Who wants some?"
Okay, say the cops. He's handcuffed, been tased twice, he's still trying to eat coins and the taser wire, and he's asking us that.
See, little pro tip, kids, if you're ever arrested, never say, "Who wants some?"
Don't
Because
do
in the
that.
cells, there's always someone who does.
And
okay?
you don't want to meet them in anything less than a nightclub situation.
They're usually not your friend, is what I'm saying.
No, they're not.
They do things you should only let special friends do, but they do it in a very non-friendly way. So seriously, kids, don't. And I honestly, I do love these cops. They tased him, didn't shoot him, and they didn't even charge him because they've just sectioned him and said, "Captain Crazy Pants needs help."
This one's
Okay.
one of yours. Didn't he section himself, this guy?
Possibly after he started gibbering.
And the cops have just gone, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Look,
Let's
dude,
just
whatever, man.
get this
you
guy
just
some
go
help.
into the house and get on different volatiles, and I just don't want to remember this night. I want to hug
Yeah.
my children and cry a little bit.
Give this guy some licking. Look, and honestly, sometimes when we do these stories, you go, "Oh, only in America. All Americans are crazy." Not so fast.
Hang on, just a second.
We could pay a quick visit to Australia's Florida, also known as Queensland.
Yeah, Queensland!
There's a story from this week. Okay,
Twice as tall as it is wide, and you have to know that because it's got a pointy head.
it does have a pointy head. And when you see a headline of some guys saying, after a car accident, they blamed it on aliens, you would think that was what they said while they were in custody after being arrested for the
Right,
accident.
because it's a good one, right? You know, can't you see the aliens? You're part of it, right? It worked for me several times.
But not these guys.
No.
They weren't actually apprehended. They had an
No.
accident in the middle of nowhere that no one saw.
Right.
And they called the police and went, "Aliens! Jibba jibba jibba! Bright lights! Jibba jibba!" They actually asked for the RAAF, the Royal Australian Air Force, to call in an airstrike because the aliens were monstering them.
And, you know, and I mean, we've all been in a place where we've been attacked by aliens that no one else can see. I just want to mention flappy dogs, right?
Yeah. Another pro tip, kids, when you're seeing aliens, don't call the cops about it.
See, this is the thing, right? I mean, I've called the cops on some dubious pretenses, and aliens hasn't been one of them, I must admit. But I've never been as deluded enough to go that the RAAF would waste an airstrike on my difficulties.
Yeah.
Like, they're expensive.
That's a big
Airstrikes,
call.
You got to fuel up a jet, maybe 3. You know, you got to arm it with very expensive weapons, and once you pull that red tag, they don't take them off again. They dump them in the sea, right? Because you can't have. I know it's weird, right? You can't have live ammunition that can blow big holes in the runway on the runway. What are they thinking? So, for every airstrike, it's something like 200 grand.
So don't ask for them. You're not going to get them,
Right.
okay? And the call drops out while these guys are going, "Jibba, jibba, jibba, aliens."
Aliens!
And the coppers are going, "We kind of like to talk to those guys."
Did they say aliens?
And when they're trying to work out where these guys are, an insurance company calls them and goes, "You might want in on this call." And they've patched the cops
What?
through. And the same guys have now called their insurance company going, "Jibba, jibba, jibba, aliens! Jibba, jibba, jibba." And hats off to the insurance company. Went, "Yeah, I think this is out of my pay grade. Let's bring the coppers in."
I'm going to buck past this up to the boys in blue who could shoot them.
Now, the call has dropped out again, and these guys are still essentially scot-free, 3 o'clock in the morning,
Running
gibbering
around
about aliens.
Queensland freaking out about aliens after a car crash.
So they're getting away with it
Not ideal.
right up until an hour later. They called the cops again, and they're going, "Jibba, jibba, jibba, aliens, jibba, jibba, bright lights, paranormal activity, jibba, 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 jibba." And the cops finally tracked them down. These guys spent hours calling the cops until they tracked them down. And you're going to be shocked at this bit, right?
Weird ass.
The cops arrive on scene and the guys are acting oddly. In fact, they apparently have knives drawn. Not at the cops. They're not threatening the cops.
No.
They're defending themselves.
Against the aliens that the cops can't see. What's going on with that?
And, believe it or not, the cops breathalyze them, and here's the shocker, over the limit.
What the?
Who saw that coming?
I had no idea.
Shock of the week.
He was a little bit drunk, oddly.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking he might have been licking cane toads as well.
Yeah, I was wondering why they didn't do a drug swab test on them as well. Maybe they don't have a cane toad licking test.
I reckon you just ask, hey, big guy, blub blub. And if you go blub blub and they go, oh, yeah. Right, then you know.
Yeah. They've been on the toad.
They've been on the toad.
They've been on the toad.
It's been quite popular in Queensland up until the public bloody safety campaign where they said, don't lick toads. You can die.
They kill you.
Stuff.
The reason you're hallucinating is you've ingested poison.
Oh,
it's damaging your brain.
What's that about? It's just a neurotoxin.
Yeah.
Let it go. It's been known to kill kangaroos, and they're only, twice as big as me.
Yeah. So, all I'm saying is never say that crazy is limited to one area, okay?
It's really not.
It's everywhere.
Trust me.
I think we should end on something special. This is not a news story as such. It's something I just stumbled across, and I was really disappointed I didn't find it in time for Christmas. This guy has got his Etsy story as man soap. Man hands, he calls it. It's make your hands smell like a man's hands.
Man's hands.
No flowers, no prissy stuff. It's like, it smells like leather, or it smells like coffee, or bacon. Yeah. But he's gone
metal tools.
Slightly off the beam. One of his specialties is Urinal mint flavoured soap.
Yeah!
Your trough lollies.
Trough lolly soap, which is just genius.
Well, that was not the first word that occurred to me.
Freaking genius. I mean, you can't have
We've got a fundamental difference going on here.
No, I've got evidence.
It's not the manliest smell. I don't think urine-scented disinfectant... Not that appealing.
What could be more man than a trough lolly that makes your hands all fresh and minty? Hey?
It's not an actual trough lolly. He's just scented a soap.
No. I've seen the ad when we were looking at it before, and I'm thinking Christmas is coming up. And, you wouldn't ever give something to someone you loved without trying it yourself. And I'm going, I'm not paying $12.50 for soap. When you can get them for free, you just go along to any public restroom. But it's got to be a man's public restroom, and then they're just sitting there in the trough, and you just go, silver wall of destiny. You have given me enough soap to last a month, so you just stuff it in your pockets there, bit of a giggle to yourself in your coat pocket, a couple in your mouth, and then, away you go. Mind you, all hands down and knees in front of the urinal can often lead to hilarious misunderstandings with some of the patrons. And also don't say, no, not me, mate, I'm just here for the soap. Not misunderstandings. But it's great, you just rub it on, it dissolves quite handily in acidic style fluids, so it's great for your skin. And then, just dab a little under, and then you're right for the night. Keep the ladies off with a stick. That's what you gotta.
I think it's time for you to visit the special doctors again.
No. And also, too, have a smell of this. Keeps your breath minty clean. Those crystals get right into all the cavities, and you'll be fine. Bit of a rinse, gargle, and you're already at the silver wall, so it's fine. It's good. It's good stuff. Trough lolly soap. I recommend it.